friends! Welcome to the last installment in the journaling setups for 2025 series-ish situation. We are finalizing with the Hobonichi Weeks, which I will be using as my media journal. And I'm really excited for this one. It is the last of the journals that I was able to set up. In fact, as I'm recording these intros, because I did sit down to record all of them all at once to make sure that I didn't fall behind, since I'm having my surgery in a couple of days, I haven't actually finished setting this one up yet. So you don't get to get a sneak peek of what that looks like, so it'll be completely new for you. I'm really excited to see what this turns out like, because at the moment of me recording this intro, I also don't know what this is gonna look like. So if you are interested in seeing more details about what I'm using this for and also the setup, per usual, you know the drill at this point. Go ahead and keep on watching. So I am back in a Hobonichi Weeks for my media journal, and I'm super excited. It's a little bit of staining is from the clear cover, and that's fine. That'll disappear once I actually decorate it. And this video is gonna span, and like all of my setup videos, they're all gonna span various days, because that's just the way it goes. I want to kind of take my time with it and enjoy the process of breaking these in. And so every journal is gonna have their own setup and what have you. And yeah, that way, if you have a particular journal that you want to see me set up, then you can do that within the realm of its video. Today I was doing some of my cutting for different things that I'm going to be using in the journals. All of these are Erin Ware's here in the side, and then here are my printables for December. I will be using that as well, some of that, but some of that will also be featured on the December plan with me and what have you. I will always reference whenever I whenever I am using one of my printables, and that'll always be linked in the description as well if you want to check that out. So today I've already set up my tabs for this, and let me go ahead and zoom you in so you're a little closer. Maybe not that close. So there we go. So I've already set up the tabs for the weeklies, and I set those up in the weeks themselves. I don't really do tabs in the months because they're one after the other. So I'll just use one of the Midori tabs to tab whichever month I'm on. I also usually have a tab in the week that I'm on and also in the notes pages, but that I usually use the pencil board to delineate one of those. So 2 tabs and the pencil board. Yeah, I already did the tabs here on the side. I do use the Hobonichi tabs for my weeks, and I decided that I would do that because my weeks for last year was also, not last year, my weeks for 2023 also had the Hobonichi tabs. And even though I was in a common planner N1 size for the media journal in 2024, I also use the tabs, and so it's just kind of like a tradition for me to use the Hobonichi tabs. I haven't decided if I'm going to tab up the notes pages. I probably won't, based off what I think I'm going to use it for, but I haven't 100% decided just yet. I guess I'll talk through that a little bit as I do the setup. Today, what I'm going to be doing is setting up my monthlies with my monthly titles, and these are part of my December printables, like I mentioned. That'll be linked down below if you are interested in them. This is one of the things that I offered in the December ones because I was going to be setting up mine as well, and I wanted to have those ready. So with this week's particularly, I'm having a little bit of a rough time with deciding what I want to do with the stickers inside. With the N1, I have a lot of like, I think I'm probably going to purchase another Lauren Phelps design cover for this. Right now I have the Hobonichi one, but I really like that the Lauren Phelps design one has multiple pockets. This one is for the N1, but I do have a weeks one. The thing is that I can't use it in this one because I did break it. So this is the Lauren Phelps design one, and I really like it. It's it has these, like, can you see? It has the 3 pockets similar to this one. And then it has 1 pocket here and 1 pocket here. I really like it. It's just that I did break it. As you can see, it's broken. So I have to order another one, but I was debating on whether I wanted to, and I think I do, because I really like having kind of like all of the pockets. And for this one particularly, I didn't do much in terms of like stickering stuff. It's just a lot of like pockets. I do have some stickers in here, but this kind of happened like as it went. Same with the back. So I don't know, I'm kind of trying to figure out. I think one of the things I'm struggling with this particular weeks, and it's I didn't do media journals in a weeks this year, but I do have the setup for last year that I set up my Hobonichi Weeks that I didn't end up using either of them. But as you can see, they didn't have any designs. I designed them, and then I also did like the interior. This one doesn't have anything, but I did glue in some stickers on some of the pages. Where's the other one? I could have sworn I had another page in here that I glued in. Guess not. I think one of the things I'm struggling with is that I'm used to kind of giving the planner its personality. You can see here too, I put a bunch of my own stickers, and there's a glare, so let me just kind of like, these are all my stickers that I went and did the cover on. And if you know anything about me, you know that I also like when I work with inserts, kind of like designing the covers as well. And my Hobonichi cousin, you can kind of see that. And so I think I'm struggling a bit with this one because it already has a design on the cover, and so it already has technically its own personality. And I know that might sound crazy, but I'm hoping that since you guys are also journal and planner people, you'll understand what I mean about how like this has a personality already, a very specific one. And so I need to do a little bit more work to kind of like respond to it versus just deciding what I want from scratch. One of the things I was maybe thinking about was I was gifted these stickers by Maddie from Hello Naya. These One Piece stickers from a con that she went to, and I have not been wanting to use them because I don't normally have sticker fear. Like, I'll just stick things down. But these are One Piece, and so I don't know, I was like going crazy. So I was thinking maybe I could stick these on. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I'm so scared. But I think they would be really cute on here. Kind of like all around, especially like in this white space, maybe in the back. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm struggling. I'm struggling a little bit with that, but it's fine. So I figured that one of the things I can do that was kind of like low pressure, and a way to kind of like break in the journal and have more like have some of the pressure go off because you're already kind of in it, is to add these monthlies. So that is what I'm going to do. And I figured you can come along the ride with me. Okay, so I am gonna have to print out another December. Or not. I mean, I'm not gonna use this in December, so. Okay, and I usually do kind of like stick these on the side. Okay, perfect. I was trying to make sure that I sized these correctly. It was so hard to size them. Well, anyways, let me go ahead and put some music and we will go through this. And I think that'll be all for this section of, like, for this journaling session that I'm about to do right now. So I will either check in with you after this is done for something else, if I decide that there's something else to check in on, or we will go directly into the next clip. So you'll find out soon enough. Hey y'all, so I figured that Before I kept going on with the setup for here, I would do a pen test because seeing everyone talk about how their pens are reacting to the weeks is making me nervous. And if if I can't use this week's for what I want it to, then I'm gonna have to recalibrate and rethink. So I figured we could do that. Off camera, I did end up doing this page, and these are some printables from Erin Ware. So I will be adding my name here later. And then I also did the notes pages, if I remember correctly. I was kind of just inspired to do that when I was clearing some of my stickers. So here's the notes pages, and again, just using some of Erin Ware's printables. So I did that. Let's go ahead and do a swatch page. So we will use the last page as usual. I have this really bad habit, and I don't know if it comes from like being in TNs or what, but I have this bad habit of like always bending things back when it comes to the journals. Where is my, oh my goodness. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Oops. Okay. So a few things we are going to test are some tombos first and foremost. So let's see, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. And let's do this one. And this one. Yep, let's do that. So So those are the tombos. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Those are the tombos. Let's look at the back. Backs looks fine. I mean, there's ghosting, but that's absolutely normal. Next up, let's use some of my fountain pens that I've got inked up already. So this is the Lamy Safari that I was gifted by Sosan, and this one has, it is inked with Ferris Wheel Press Edward Gardens Jardin Turquoise, Jardin Turquoise, which was gifted to me by Maddie, and I'm absolutely in love with this ink. The color of it, the duochrome, is absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and that looks pretty good. Doesn't look like there's any bleeding with that one. This is the Lamy Safari Black, also gifted by Maddie, and this one is currently inked with just a regular, the Noodlers ink Bernanke Black, which to me feels more like a gray. I mean, it's definitely black, but it feels more gray adjacent than like a pure black. Lamy Safari Black, and that one looks okay as well. No feathering that I can tell. This is the Twisby, and I don't know what Twisby this is. I'm sure that it's somewhere. This was also a gift from Maddie, and this is inked, we believe, with the Tatsuya Kurocha, right? Nakabayashi Tatsuya, is that the name of the brand? Nakabayashi? Who knows, really? I love this box so much. We're pretty sure that it's inked with this one, and so I bought it to use it. I haven't swatched it yet. I still have to swatch that, but we will do that at some point. But yes, this is the Twisby. I forgot to mention, both Lamys are fine nibs. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There you go. Both of them are fine nib, but I believe the Twisby is extra fine, if I remember Maddie said. So let's see here. And I'll forever refer to this one as Maddie's Twisby. So there's that. Doesn't look like there's any feathering there either. No bleed through, so that's good. This one is my Pilot Kakuno, and this one I think I actually need to re-ink. I think this one had gingerbread in it, which I am absolutely obsessed with that color. That's one of the ones that Sosan gifted me. And then the Kaweko Collections, I think this is the Kaweko Sport. This one is in extra fine as well, and I believe this one is inked. Let me get the weeks that I have here with this color for sure. It is sepia, ancient copper. So the Kaweko Sport that I'm about to use is inked with ancient. Is it ancient copper or sepia? Oh no, I don't remember. But this is the gingerbread that I was talking about that was in the Pilot Kakuno. Now I'm not sure which one is in this one. Oh lordy. So it's either okay, so it's there's three possibilities. It's either the sepia, the autumn oak, or the ancient copper. But I think I'm leaning against, no, it might be the ocean copper. I'm not sure. I should write these things down, honestly. But yeah, this is an extra fine. Kaweko Sport. I should probably add the size, right? So you can see, like, next to these, how it doesn't look very dark, right? The black, it's more grayish, I think. And I'm pretty sure it's extra fine, but it might be fine. I think it's extra fine though. Which, well, I don't know. Anyways, so those are the fountain pens, and it doesn't look like there's any bleeding, which is I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved because I was very, very scared about that. Let's do the touch sign pens, because I do use these quite often. And then let's also do the Fudenosuke, because I also use that quite often. Where is the brown? This is the black. Okay, this is the black. So this is the touch sign pen. Blue. Black. And then where is my brown? Here it is. I have other colors, but I think this gives us a pretty good look at how the paper is behaving. So that's that, and then let's do Tombow Fudenosuke. And then let's do also the brush pen, which I think this one could potentially, maybe. Okay. Let's look at the back. Doesn't look like there's any bleed, which again, good sign. Very good sign. Let's do some watercolor. Some basic watercolor, nothing crazy. Okay. And then something else that I have been very into lately has been stamping. So let's do some stamping. I want to use this one. And this one might bleed because even in my weeks from last year, or from, I guess from this year, there was some bleeding with the stamp. So it's very possible that this one will bleed. That's beautiful. It's so dark. I love this ink pad. This is the Sashihiro black ink. This was recommended to me again by Maddie. Maddie is the stamp queen to me. Just kind of dab that a little bit. Okay. And then let's say, this is the gingerbread that I was talking to you about. Let me just do some swatching. I think that it'll probably bleed, but I want to try it out anyways and just see. I love this color quite a lot. I've been liking quite a lot of these brown inks that have made themselves, or rather that have found themselves in my collection. I'm so grateful for everyone that has sent me these gifts because I'm fairly new to this community, right? Like I'm not, I just started my YouTube less than a year ago, and I've not really been in the YouTube sphere, like even amongst like even as a watcher, I haven't been on this side of the community for very long. I used to be very active in the Bujo community as a watcher in like 2019, around there. Cleaning up this pen. Okay. And where is my little his? So let me just kind of, I mean, regardless, it's not going to dry very fast. That's like the one thing I don't like about Hobonichi paper. It takes 5 years to dry, but it is what it is. Okay, as you can see, look at that transfer. But let's look at, oh wow, no bleed. Okay, that's impressive. There's like, it almost wants to bleed a little bit there, but it doesn't quite get to it. So that is the tester page. I'm very happy with the fact that they are not bleeding through. I was so nervous that I could barely sleep last night. I was like, oh no, I can't continue on doing this setup until I do the testing of the pages. So that is awesome. I'm so happy. So we can go ahead and proceed with the rest of the setup for sure. Hey friends, welcome to the next check-in. It's actually been quite a couple of weeks since the last time I recorded for this particular video, or most videos in general. I don't know if you're aware, or if you've been following along in my different platforms, but I had a gallbladder surgery a couple of weeks ago. It has been, what was it, maybe 10 days or so since I had gallbladder removal surgery. And I just now have made it to my filming desk. I've been staying in my mom's apartment, and so I just wanted to check in because I am going to be working on a couple of spreads here because we are running out of time officially before the start of the year, and I want to make sure that everything is set up. So I just wanted to show you kind of like what this looks like, because last time I checked in, I'm pretty sure I didn't have this setup yet. So I did receive the Lauren Phelps design cover, but unfortunately it's just too big for this. There was a really big gap. I was talking to my patrons about it, and what I did was I had an extra one, I think like a Hobonichi one on this one, and since this is getting archived, I took it out, put it on here, and then put the Lauren Phelps design one onto the Mega because that fit it really, really well. As you can see, it's totally fine. I think that either I selected the wrong one or something. I was pretty sure I selected the compact one, but it was just too big. Eventually this will expand, and once that does, I will put this on and switch it, but for now I just put the Hobonichi one so that it didn't have that huge gap. And then I have the Lauren Phelps design one on the on my kind of like one of my ink journals, because that's something that I've been getting into quite a lot. So let me show you what I ended up doing on the cover, because I did do that one of those days that I was just chilling. I was waiting for the clear cover to arrive so that I can put some of the stickers on this, and I'm really happy with how it came out because I was struggling. I don't know if I had mentioned it in previous recordings. I don't remember at this point, but I was struggling with, let me take this clear cover off so that you can see it a little better without the glare, with like the fact that this wasn't very customized to me. I realized when doing this that I do in fact will probably benefit from having a clear cover, not a clear cover, but like a blank cover versus a design on it, so that I can customize it for myself. But I did end up gluing in, or sticking in rather, some of the stickers that my friend Maddie sent over from a con that she went to a couple months back for One Piece. I ended up sticking all of those onto here along with some of my printables and some other stickers. So this is a washi tape that I was gifted. This is for La Dolce Vita. I don't know where this one is from, but this is from my printable. These little stars are from Planned by Jyla. The little things, as well as a PT tape of theirs, of hers rather. These little strips are from one of my printables. This little make time for the things that bring you joy is also one of Jess's from Planned by Jyla. This Year My Sanctuary is a collaboration between Planned by Jyla and Hello Naya. And then this is also one of my printables, which were off cuttings from these. So this is one of my printables as well, one of my Patreon printables. And I just went ahead and fit it to this page, and it's a full page printable. So there was off cuttings, and I just went ahead and glued some of that in because the colors match pretty well. So I'm very happy with how this looks. It definitely feels more me. As soon as I added this, I just felt like it was so much better at this point. You know, I cannot find for the life of me where my my clear pocket is, so I have to find that to glue it on, but that's the only thing I'm kind of missing. And then as the year progresses, then I might add stuff to here, but if I don't, that's totally fine. I don't mind whatsoever. Let me go ahead and put this back in. But that's what that looks like. I am gonna be doing today some setup for the back pages, and because I was doing that, let me get these. I don't know why these are in here, but as I was doing that, I figured I would get my 2023, oops, let me put this in here, my 2023 weeks to kind of use as inspiration and reference for some of the spreads that I'm going to be replicating. Okay, struggling here. Okay, so like this clear cover is what I'm missing from, I don't know where it is. It's probably hiding somewhere, but anyways, so I decided that I was gonna get my 2023 weeks for inspiration, and in here was this that I don't know if I'm gonna keep it in here or not. I bought this after the fact, and I kind of just use it to, you know what, I probably will just keep it in here because she's so chunky that I kind of use this to keep it closed. So I'll probably just leave that here actually. And she's really chunky because I have one of my reactions, my field notes reactions in here, and then I have also another like a Hobonichi notebook, like the week's notebook. I do have one of these, and I pondered using it for here, but I am actually just going to move these into the back pages, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But I wanted to kind of look at some of the spreads that I was making in here and replicate them. So for example, I want to do the year in pixels again because it's one of my favorite spreads to do, and so I just wanted to have this as a reference to be able to make the new one. And then I also wanted to look at these lists as well and see how I set them up so that I can set them up on the new journal as well. And then was there something else I wanted to reference in here? Oh, I don't think so. I just think that I noticed rather that I had some of my Midori bookmarks in here still, so I took those out and have those for this one. So I'm gonna do that. Actually, let me finish showing you what the insides look like. Let me go ahead and zoom you in a little bit here. Whew, excuse if I sound a little winded. Sometimes I get winded because of the surgery still. But this is what the front cover ended up look like. I will probably end up printing Ella Nim and putting that here. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't 100% decided that. I have to add my key here, which since we're already here, might as well do it, right? So let me go ahead and get all of my colors. So if you've been here for a while, you know that I have a color coding system for the media that I consume. Let's go ahead and see. Am I missing? I think I'm missing the fanfic one. Yep, this one. And I think that's it. Okay, so that is that one. That one. And these are all my tombos, and I'll kind of show you. So this one is 992. This one is, I think, 192. It's kind of fading. And then these three are for books. So this is for physical books. It's brown. Green is for ebooks. And this kind of light blue is for audiobooks. And then we have yellow, which is 993, I think. I can actually probably, I think I have a swatch here from back in the day. Maybe I have, yes I do. Okay, so the yellow is 993, the green is 192, 291. This is like one of the first fountain pens I ever used, and they're so smudgy. Okay, so then yellow is for manga and manhwa. And then this kind of burgundy color, which is 757, is for fanfic and doujins. This pink one, which is, oh, that's really faded. This is 772. Is TV shows. This purple, which I believe is 620, is movies. And this blue, which is 526, is podcasts. And this is a color coding system that I have been using since 2023. I had a little tab here that you can see. I used to only have one for books, but then I decided to change it to have classifications for the type of book or the format in which I was reading the books. So that's that. I will probably end up pasting, like maybe, do I have something that I could do that for? I don't want to draw it directly. I mean, although I know this is my key, right? Like I don't really need to. Why not? Let's just, why not? Says I won't, does it? Oh, actually, I want to use this one. And then maybe I can get a sticker to put in the corner there. Let's not smudge that if at all possible. was thinking of maybe something by Aaron Ware, but I don't know if I have anything small enough. To like maybe something like this, but it would cover. Although I don't really use these monthlies anyways, so no harm, no foul. I don't usually cut them. I'll usually kind of like flip them over, as you guys know, but I figured it would be better to cut it in this case so that it doesn't affect the design on this side. Not that it would, but whatever. Okay, let me kind of blot this. Okay, I'll just kind of put this in here so that it doesn't, but yeah, that's the key. Cute, I like that. Yeah, I don't really use this page anyways. I mean, that's just there because I wanted to have it, but I don't really use this. I'll probably end up putting stickers on this as the year progresses, is what most likely will happen. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this page yet, so we're just gonna bypass that. And then I do need to do the dots for this, but that'll be in the setup video for January where I do my closeout. So that'll probably happen in the next couple of days or maybe later today. I don't know just yet, but I think that I am gonna do December's log just because I want to try out some of the and then I did end up whiting out January 2026, February, and March. I ended up whiting out the days. I don't know what I'm going to do with these pages just yet, but I kind of just went in and did that for some reason. And then, yeah, so what I was saying, I think I'm going to fill in December, even though I'm going to fill that in my 2024 one as well, because I want to trial some of the spreads that I'm thinking about doing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to do that off camera just so that I'm not in my head about it, because if any of you record your videos for YouTube, you might understand or relate to kind of like being aware that someone is looking at you while journaling and all that stuff. So because this is something that I'm going to trial and I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet, I am going to just do it off camera and then I'll come back and kind of explain it to you. But then I'm also going to do some setup for the back pages. And so I will explain kind of like my thought process on that. Let me just kind of like pick up a little bit here so that this isn't a mess. Put back all my Tombos. I definitely have to clean this desk before the new year starts because it has so much like glue remnants. I need to see if I can find my Unijet stream for use in this journal. But anyways, okay, so the end pages. So I posted a video on Patreon the 26th and I kind of went through my thought process. I did some morning pages and did some brainstorming on what I wanted to do with the weekly pages and the back pages, because what I decided that I was going to do is that I am going to use so if you saw my TN setup, you'll know this little hub here is going to be like my daily journaling system, and it is going to include media reactions in here. So since I'm going to do media reactions in here, I was trying to figure out or kind of like determine, I guess, what was going to live in here versus what was going to live in here in terms of the weekly spreads. And I kind of figured that out already, which is what I'm going to trial. Aside from that, I decided I had originally thought that maybe the back pages would be like a commonplace section, which is similar to what I did in 2023. I did a lot of quotes collections in the back pages, but then I kind of ended up changing that at some point, adding images as well, and I didn't really like that combination of things necessarily and how it felt. So originally I thought, okay, maybe I will do that. I know I've talked a lot about it on my Patreon. I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube videos, so excuse me if I'm repeating, but I consider myself when it comes to commonplacing, I consider myself there's two different versions of my type of commonplacing. One of it is the intellectual kind of like scholarly approach to commonplacing, which is collecting quotes and wanting to thread that to other quotes and other articles and other ideas, and kind of developing notes based off of those things and developing different ideas and themes, kind of seeing where things kind of like parallel each other and all that. That's kind of like a more scholarly approach to commonplacing that I do. That is something that I have been recently doing on Obsidian digitally, because it's easier for me to be able to thread a lot of those ideas together. Alternatively, there's also the collector's version. I'm a collector at heart, and I do enjoy collecting quotes, just because I like having them and seeing them. And so that is the type of commonplacing that I was doing here, where it was, yes, I would write kind of like my reactions to it, but not necessarily. It was really just the quote itself, because I like having it and looking at it and referencing it every so often. And so that's what I thought I was going to do in the back pages of the weeks this year as well. But I decided that this is going to live also in my daily journal. So my daily journal is basically what I'm going to be calling my patchwork life journal. It's going to be everything and anything is going to go in here. I'm not going to kind of compartmentalize it as I usually do. It'll all go in the daily journal. But then that left me with all of the notes pages and what to do with them. So what I decided was that they're basically going to be collection pages. And I've been trying to figure out what collection pages I wanted to use. And so I have a few of them here. I have them on post-its because I want to decide how I'm going to place them, like in what order. And a few of the ones that I have decided that I want to do is the year in pixels, like I talked about earlier. I want to have a collection for movie theater visits. One of the things I really want to do in 2025 is go to the movie theater more often, because that's one of my favorite things to do, and I haven't done much of it in the past couple of years. Why is this not zooming in correctly? Let me zoom you in a little more. Maybe that'll help. So I want to just kind of have a place to put those. I would like to have a Heritage Month list as well, because one of the things that I want to do in 2025 is get back into reading and consuming media a bit more, what's the word? Like a bit more words intentionally. So I, as many of you know, media is one of the most important things in my life, and it's one of my favorite things, my hyperfixations. But I would like to have a bit more intention with some of the things that I'm consuming, and not just consuming for consumption's sake. There's nothing wrong with that, and I definitely there's a time and place for it, and that's not going to change. But I do want to have a bit more intention. I really enjoyed in 2022 when I was reading according to Heritage Months. So I just want to have a list of Heritage Months for easy reference, so that I can kind of figure out what my 2BR or my 2BW, TBW, to be watched, TBR, to be read, will be for the month. And so I want to have that in the back just for easy reference. Talking about easy reference, I do often reference the One Piece arc list online because of the dots and how I kind of track media that way for One Piece. So I kind of want to have the arc list in the back. I thought that would be really cool, just to have, again, easy reference. I would also like to have a physical media acquisitions collection. So every time I buy any form of physical media, I want to go ahead and register that. Lately, I've been buying a lot of media at Goodwill, so it's been a lot cheaper, and I don't necessarily want to have a no buy or a low buy, although I guess a low buy is more in tune with what I am trying to accomplish with when it comes to that. But I just want to have a place where I can kind of register every single time I bring physical media into the house, whether that is a book, a CD, a DVD, a game, etc. So that's another collection that I want to have. And then one that I'm kind of deciding whether I want to have or not is the fictional characters' birthdays. I originally wanted to have that as a collection in the back, but I think what I will probably end up doing is just adding it to the monthlies. I think that that'll be fine because I'm not necessarily going to need the space for an index on these monthlies because I'm going to be changing that. So if, again, you've been following my media journal stuff, you'll know that I do kind of this thing with the monthly dots where I track the series that I'm watching and when I'm watching them, and you'll see that I have an an index on here. There's a lot less space for indexing on the weeks, so instead of having the index here, I'm gonna have that in one of the weekly pages. So I'll have space for the birthdays, so I'll probably do that. I love this page so much. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking of doing. I have to fill this one out as well for the closeout, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so that's kind of like what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna do some of those collection pages, and then aside from that, another thing that's gonna live here in the back is the lists. So kind of like how I mentioned here where I had the notebook, another way that I would track my media is to have a list, right? So here in 2023, I have a list of movies watched, of TV shows watched, and I did end up watching more than 44 movies, so I just went ahead and added a different list, and I added that. I think I did. I don't know if I finished updating this, but I know at least I watched 86 movies last year, and then I had books read, so I want to replicate this kind of system. And then TV shows, I would put the seasons, right? So like, for example, I watched season 1, 2, 3 of The Walking Dead, so on and so forth. So movies watched, TV shows watched, books read. I guess I would add podcasts listened to, and I think that's it. Manga, I don't think I'm going to do manga because that's a lot, but I want to have the lists. So I'm going to set up the lists as well. And then something I haven't decided 100% that I want to do in the weeks or not. So I did I put this wrong? Yes, I totally did. That's funny. Oh God. Welp. Like, why does it look like that? There we go. What was I saying? Oh, so in 2023, one of the things I did was keep a media companion insert, and in it, I would do my Receiptify spreads, which these spreads for sure will be going in the weeks in one of the weekly spreads, which I'm excited about. But another thing that I did was kind of track the thumbnails for the movies, TV shows, etc. So this is like a visual way of tracking the media that I consumed. I was thinking that I will do that in here, but what I need to decide is if I'm going to do that in the back or if I'm going to do it in the weeklies. I think I will probably do it in the back just because I'm afraid that I will run out of space in the weekly spread. So I'll probably do that in the back pages, but then I just have to decide again on spacing and what have you, and all that jazz. So that's what I'm going to be doing off camera, and I will check back in with you once I have finished that and talk you through what I ended up deciding in terms of spacing and all that. I'm gonna kind of use the post-its to decide spacing. So like, for example, I think I'm gonna do year in pixels on this spread, which will be a double spread, and then I'll probably do a Heritage Month list here, and I guess the One Piece arc list can go here as well. That's kind of like reference. Yeah, and then I'll do movie theater visits and physical media acquisitions. I guess that could work. And then I just have to decide how else I'm gonna manage it, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll check in with you at the next checkpoint, I guess. Hey friends, so last we spoke, I was gonna start doing the collection pages, I think. Perhaps. Let me just double check. Yep, that's precisely what it was. As of right now, it's been a couple of days since then. I was doing that setup on Monday. I had a pretty big relapse in terms of my recovery after having sat down for like 4 hours doing this. So I ended up not really touching this and just kind of going into it back in my mom's apartment every so often to kind of set these up. But I wanted to show you what the collection pages that I have set up look like, and then I'll show you what I've done in the December portions, and I've done some of the January setup as well. I'll show you that too. So in terms of the note pages, let's go here. Okay, so note pages. The first thing that I decided to do was the year in pixels, which I'm obsessed with. Evidently, I love it so much. Where is my 2023 journal? Oh goodness, it's here off to the side. So in 2023, I did do the year in pixels in the back, and this year I opted to do it in the front. So this is what it looked like in 2023, and this is what it's gonna look like in 2025. I still have to put pixels in media or pixel media tracker or something, year in pixels, whatever the title's gonna be, but I am waiting for a alphabet stamp to arrive. So once that gets here, I will do the title, but this is what that looks like for now. I do already have to add a movie for the, what day is it today? The 2nd? The 1st. So that's nice. Very excited. I really love how this looks. Really, really much. I think I mentioned already as well that I wanted to do the heritage months. So I went ahead and added that. It is not the prettiest thing, but I don't mind the wonkiness. I kind of like it. So I kind of went with that. Another thing that I decided to add was the buzzword challenge. I don't think I mentioned that when I was doing my little post-its, but I participated in the buzzword challenge back in 2022. My year of reading is what I call it, because that was the media that I consumed the most that year. And I want to participate in it again this year for the same reason that I want to have the heritage months. I just feel like when I have some sort of parameter around what I will be watching or reading, it helps make some decisions instead of feeling like I'm just being swayed by the mood. Which I often am influenced by my mood, but having kind of these little subcategories that I can fall back on really, really helps. So I went ahead and added that. This year is special because Books and Lala, she's done 2 types of challenges within the buzzword challenge, one for the title and one for the cover, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it and participating in that. Next up is that physical media acquisition layout, which I really like how it came out. I love this little cat with the book. So cute. Yeah, nothing much to say about that. And then this is the movie theater visits log, and that's all I've got for the collection pages. I still, of the ones we've discussed, have to do the One Piece arc list, which I was debating on whether I wanted to do on this page or on a double spread, but I think I did decide to do it on just one page just so that I can do this, because I don't think there's anything else that I can put here. I can't think of anything else to put here, so might as well just use up this page. Goodness gracious, coughing is the worst. Yeah, so that's that, and then I have to make a decision because I don't know, again, I can't remember if we spoke about this and I showed you it, but I did decide that I had originally decided, rather, for the monthly pages, or rather, the weeks within the month, yeah, that I would do kind of like these collections. So it would be the December, or rather the monthly inbox, which would include a quote, and then any notable releases that are coming out that month, as well as any recommendations that I come across. Again, just an inbox so that I can have a place that I know where I can put that information. Otherwise, I wouldn't necessarily know where to put it. Then I would have the media index, which would speak to the monthly page. And then I would have the music spread sheet. No, not spread or spreadsheet. The music page, which would basically be like my Receiptify, and then the images for some of the songs as well. And then the overview, which would have like stats. So like total stats, the total number of episodes watched, total number of movies, total number of books, total number of podcasts, etc., etc. And any like general, I guess, review the month in terms of the media consumption. So like, for example, if we're talking about December, there was definitely a lot of movies, more so I think than any other month, primarily in the last 2 weeks because I was in recovery, and so it's easier to watch movies. And then there was some weeks where there was a lot of manga as well, which is interesting. I started off with a lot of TV shows, then I went into a lot of manga, and then I ended with a lot of movies. So that's an interesting kind of thing. And lots of rewatching, right? Like I rewatched a lot of things with Natalie, again, because I was with Natalie and I wanted her to watch those things with me. So there was a lot of rewatching involved as well. And I didn't watch much One Piece actually at all. I kind of stopped, and I think I know why. It's because I'm going into Whole Cake Island soon, and I am nervous about that arc for some reason. But then I kind of had this thing where I didn't want to do that anymore, and I wanted to do the kind of like the monthly situation, kind of these collections in the back. But then I was doing a setup video and kind of talking to my patrons in one of the update journal with me's, and I realized I don't really want to do it in the back because then it's going to make it really difficult for me to kind of decide where things are going to go when one month starts and the other ends. So I kind of went back and decided that I was going to do it here, but I need to set it up. So another thing that I decided that I wanted to do, I went back and added the little monthly squares, and I'm trialing 2 different layouts. This is the layout that I was using in 2023 with all of the closed squares. And this is the layout I used in 2024 where it was just 2 lines. It's much easier to do this. I do want to create my little stickers again. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath again. It's because of the surgery, but yeah, I wanted to add that back. So I did that, and I decided that I wanted to do like first songs. So this is something that Maddie does over at Hello Naya. She will put the first song that she listens to, because music is one of like her biggest types of media that she consumes. She'll put the first song she listens to in the day. I feel like I can't do that because I'll oftentimes run out of space. So I decided instead that I wanted to do something like this where I kind of have it separate. And I might not necessarily have a first song of the day because I don't necessarily listen to music every day. I have my moments where I'm very into music and moments where I'm not. So I think I really like this idea of having it this way. Another thing that I was considering was using this little section here, kind of in the same way that I was doing the weather in my Hobonichi. I will show you in a second. Here, reaching over. So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So in the Hobonichi, I would kind of separate this little section here for the weather. And, you know, sometimes I would do it and sometimes I wouldn't. But I'm thinking that I could potentially do that for songs. Maybe. I'm trying to think if there's ever going to be a song that is bigger than this square. And I mean, maybe. My handwriting is not that small, which is what makes me a little nervous. But doing that or doing something with this little section will resolve the weird spacing that happens when I do these little squares, which is something that I always have an issue with. I like having it here because then I can kind of flip like this and very at a glance see the differences throughout the week. One of the reasons why I like having it in this corner, but it definitely limits what I can do in this section here unless I use up this space. So what I'm thinking I want to do is maybe try that next week and see how that looks, because yeah, I think I really like how this looks when it's used as well. I really like that kind of separation, and that way I can continue using this space for the monthly whatever, the monthly but then at the same time, I don't know, because then this space is going to be too small for some of the things that I want to do with it, right? Like the Receiptify, it would be too small. And then if I don't have the Receiptify and let's say I go to do something else with it, I don't have enough pages, or rather I have more pages than I have. Something to think about, I guess. I don't think I'm gonna set it up just yet. It's so hard. Because alternatively, what I could do is what I had decided in the back and do that in the back pages. Then I'd need to figure out what else I can put on this side. Maybe I should just go with my original thought and maybe just like add a small sticker there or something. Maybe like a piece of washi tape. Pick a washi tape and put it there or something. Maybe. The predicament is real. What do you guys think? What can I do aside from kind of these things? Because I am really adamant on having all of my media reactions be in my daily log. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do all of my reviews in there as well. Originally, I had thought about potentially adding it here in the back. But I think I would rather have it in the daily journal. Maybe, perhaps. Who knows? Maybe when it comes to reviews, I should have it in here. And then I'm debating on whether I want the list to be in a separate little notebook the same way I did in 2023, or if I wanted it to be in here. I had originally said that I wanted it in here, but I mean, with the potential of excuse me, with the potential of there being multiple spreads in this section, I don't know. Maybe I can do the Receiptifies in the back. I would really like to do like the Receiptify situation in these though. I mean, is it impossible for me to do a Receiptify in this small section? Kind of like my top songs of the month? Maybe not. You know what? Let's try it this month and see how it goes. How about that? Let's try it this month and see how it goes. And then decide. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to definitely, I think, do the One Piece arc here. I have to do the research for that though. And then I really wanted to do some other spreads in here before I went in and decided, okay, I'm good. I need to move on into like monthly or whatever, what have you. So since I am doing the buzzword challenge, I kind of wanted to do a bracket system for that. And see which ones I ended up choosing for each month. So I have to do those spreads. And then I think I do want to eventually do kind of like, okay, this is what I read and watched for Black History Month. This is what I read and watched for Women's History Month. And so on, perhaps. But I don't want to do those spreads now. I kind of just want to leave that for later. Which is what I mean of like... so then it's 4, right? Oh my goodness, I'm struggling, guys. Whenever you try to do something new in a journal, that just tends to happen. With these, I was very much aware of what I wanted to do, but with some of these other ones, I'm like freaking out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I could do overviews instead in the monthlies. Or rather the weeklies, like do an overview of what I watch. So like, for example, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty simple with Squid Game, for example. Like it's season 2, that's fine. But when it comes to things like One Piece, like which arc I'm on, maybe do like a weekly overview of how I feel like about meat. I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to keep up with that though. So who knows really. That's kind of like what's going on. I have to do some research on the arcs so that it's a little simpler for me to set that up. And yeah, this setup video has taken a lot longer than I anticipated it would and has been in many different parts and more than I anticipated it would. But you know, that's just the name of the game. This is my most valued journal because it is my media journal, my baby. So it just makes sense that I can be a little all over the place with it, I guess. Maybe, perhaps. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next check-in. Hello, my friends. Welcome to what I think will be the final check-in of this video from my very messy desk. And you can see my very red hand. I need to put some lotion on because I have been, since I'm doing a lot of wound care, I have been dealing with some I've been having to wash my hands a lot more than usual, and so this hand, I have one hand that's more dry than the other for some reason, and so I need to be putting a lot more lotion on this, and I keep forgetting. So anyways, so I think I've made some decisions, and I kind of wanted to go through them with you. This has not been the setup video that I intended. I've done a lot less actual setup on here than, again, what I originally wanted to, but that's just been how the cookie crumbled, I guess, because of surgery and because of the timing and all that. So let's just do a quick flip again of what we've got done here. We did the front page, or rather the front cover, back cover looking swell. We did the front cover page, which is using my printables, the back cover page also using my printables. We did the inner flap sections, which I'm still obsessed with, and I still have to put L&M on here, but I haven't yet. Something could potentially go there later, but I'm just gonna let that be for now. We have this page, which is not something that I really use, the key for fun. This is still gonna be something that I anticipate will be like the graphs page, but because I'm still like in recovery from post-op, being, you know, from the operation, from the surgery, I don't see myself doing this anytime soon until like I feel like I have a better grasp at thoughts. So that'll be at some point, maybe in one of the following months setups, because I do plan on doing kind of like monthly setups moving forward as part of the L&M video rotation on YouTube. So I can't like stop looking at how red my hand is. So bad. So yeah, this will probably get done at some other point, but of course I will show you guys once that is set up. We have the monthlies. I still have to do the close up for December. Haven't done anything in January because this is part of like the close up. So yeah, like once it's time to change months, then I will do the little dots in here and to index them, which I actually have decided what I'm going to do with the index. I'll show you guys that in a second. This is like unusually like, I don't know why it's like can you guys see how it's going in? And I don't know why. I mean, I did for a time have it clamped with the brass clip. Maybe that's why, but I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little odd that it's doing that. I don't know why. Okay, so then we've already got the backlog for November, December. And then that's this week. As you can see, I have not listened to a single song this week. There's been no music. I have to do the colors for this, and if you want, we could do it together. Why not? So we did get some manga here. So that was on Saturday. So we're up here Saturday. Oh, and then we also did it on a Wednesday. So let's go here Wednesday. 1, 2, 3. Let's underline those. And I only underline the actual name of the series or the media itself. I don't underline what of it I've consumed. So like, for example, in Squid Game, I only underline Squid Game, not that I watched season 2, episode 3, 4, 5, etc. If that makes sense. Just a little tidbit there. I did watch some movies this week as well. So we got 28 Days Later on Thursday, and we rewatched Interstellar on Friday. 28 Days Later and Interstellar, and that was Thursday and Friday. So definitely has been a heavier movie week, which is cool to see. Okay, and that's that. And then I did end up adding 2 movies here that I am really interested in watching. Love Me with Kristen Stewart and Stephen Yeun, which is like an AI adjacent story. It's really interesting. Go watch the trailers because it looks super interesting. And Wolfman which has the actor that was in Mindy, and I can't remember his name. I still can't remember his name. I didn't remember it when I wrote it. I can't remember his name now. But I was not interested in that, but I did see a trailer on TikTok, and so I am interested on it now. I decided that moving forward, I'm not gonna do the index pages or like the pages like I had originally planned that I did in December. I'm going to do the first songs. I still like that idea, so I'm gonna keep that in January and see how it goes. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna do the covers that I consumed by week instead of doing that at the end of the year like I had originally planned and always do. I think I showed this already here, but just in case, this is kind of like what I did in 2023 in the companion. I kind of just put that by media type for the whole year instead of doing it this way, and how that was originally how I intended to do it here. I'm gonna do it by week and just have a visual representation of what I watched or consumed rather, and have it here along with the first songs. I'm really excited to see how that looks, so we're gonna try that out for January and see if it works, and if it does, we'll continue, and if it doesn't, we will go back to the drawing board. That is a conversation for you and I at the end of the month. That's what I'm thinking of doing here. And then we go to the notes pages, and we have our year in pixels. The package that I was supposed to receive with the stamps is lost. It was supposedly delivered and did not arrive, which is very concerning to me because it was a very expensive package. It had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to show you guys, and yeah, it's lost, so we shall see. I'm not gonna do this until that arrives or that's resolved. I'll get to that later. Even if I never get to it, it's fine. I know what this is. But yeah, at some point I'll do that. This is the heritage months that we talked about, the buzzword challenge that we also talked about already. I really like how this spread looks. Physical media acquisitions, movie theater visits. I did not end up doing the One Piece list on here. I did end up doing it on a double spread, as you can see here. At least I have all of the arcs in there already. The reason I decided to do that is what I ended up doing was going in and just doing a rough, like copying it from the website to my field notes, just so that I can get an idea. And through this, I realized that I wanted to also have the sagas, not just the arcs, so that's what you see here. And through that, I also realized that I was gonna probably need more than one page, and so I'm glad I did this rough draft first, and then from here I transferred it onto this page. I still have to do the title and I have to do some deco, but I have decided to just leave that for now. We'll get to it eventually. I want to kind of experiment with some colors first before I decide how I want to deco this at the end of the day. So, and I also wanted to give it some time to kind of dry so that I can highlight this later. So we're gonna do that, and then I decided that what I'm gonna do with the index pages is I was gonna put them in the back, because I kept going back and forth on, you know, what if I want to do another collection, and I've already started the indexes and that's all over the place. So what I decided to do was do the indexes in the back. So I've gone ahead and I'm gonna make this the index cover page, January, February, March, April, May, so on and so forth, up until the last couple of pages. So then there's just one other spread in between the indexes and the tester page, I guess. And I just left that there just in case I need to do any more testing or whatever. At the end of the day, it's just there. I kind of sometimes like leaving these random little bits in between. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deco this page, and I'm going to add a little tab so that it's quick a reference. And yeah, I will do the index pages respectively in this back page. Another thing that I decided that I'm going to do is the list that I was planning on doing based on what I did in 2023. In case you skipped that part, it's this list that I'm talking about in this little notebook. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to do this again. And ultimately what I decided is that even though I would much rather do it as time passes, I'm probably going to do this to close out the year. I might regret that at the end of the year, but I think it might be better. Or, I mean, I might decide not to do that, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna do this at the end of the year once all the pages are done, and that way I can have a better sequence of, you know, books, TV shows, movies, podcasts, fanfics, etc. So I think I will do that later, and then I'm just gonna leave these notes pages open for me to continue doing collections as I want to do them, and as I come up with them. So that's kind of what I decided to do. And then we have this 365 days checkoff sheet, which, well, since we're already here, morning pages, and I will outline that later, but this is just tracking how many days I end up doing morning pages. And as you can see, we're on day 5 as I'm recording this, and I've missed a day because I've only highlighted 4 of them, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Like I mentioned, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get to the 365 days, so I think this is going to be an interesting one. Then you have this last page, which I have Perona here and Brunhilde, and the last page. And that's the media journal. I'm really, really excited. I like the kind of shift of doing the covers in the weeks instead. And then Receiptifies and Receiptifies and Receiptifies and what am I trying to say? And not the media index, Receiptifies and overviews and reviews will live in the journal. The Patchwork Life Journal is what I've called it, the daily journal essentially. And I'm excited about that because again, it's just, I feel like having it all of like what I'm not consuming, but having this be a data log, a log in and of itself. This is really more of factual information, quantifiable information, if you will, and my daily journal, which right now it's drying because I did some, I'll show you here, just a little sneak peek. I did some ink swatches here in the back. Oh, it didn't do that. It's not that bad. Is it still wet or is it dry? It's dry. Having that sort of stuff live in here just feels right to me. So I'm excited to see how that comes out. I'm really excited. Where is my, here it is, my pencil board. I'm really excited to kind of experiment in this journal and see where it takes me in terms of like different layouts, and I'm excited to see how these two work together. Oh, another thing is that I bought a cover for this. It was originally gonna live in the TN, but the TN is already really, really thick. This in and of itself lives in and out of it. So what I decided to do instead was buy this a cover, and I bought the Tragan cover because I have been eyeing and ogling and salivating over that cover for over a year. And so it's on its way. I'm really excited. I hope that it's not a disappointment like it was with the other Hobonichi cover, but I'm thinking it won't be just because of the texture. I think that really what I didn't like about the Hobonichi cover, the A5 one, was that it was I don't know, kind of a weird. I had a sensory issue with it, but the more canvasy style feel fabrics I feel like I might do better with. So I'm really hoping that it'll be good and that I will love it, and yeah, I'm excited for that to arrive. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this chaos of a video. I hope that it wasn't too I'm not even gonna say I'm not even gonna say that I don't hope it was all over the place, because it definitely was, but I hope that you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.